You think you know what hunger looks like, but you don't. Because during the Great Depression, food wasn't about taste. It wasn't about comfort. It wasn't even about nutrition. It was about survival. And some of the things people ate, you wouldn't even recognize as food today. We're talking about meals made from scraps, from nothing, from desperation. And by the end of this video, you'll see food very differently. Because number 17 was fed to children. Number 9 sounds fake, but it wasn't. And number 1 might be the most shocking of all. This was not food. This was survival. Let's go back to a time when millions had nothing, when jobs vanished overnight, when families stood in bread lines for hours, and when dinner was never guaranteed. These are the 25 forgotten survival foods that kept America alive. And we're starting with number 25. Mock apple pie. No apples. Not a single one. Instead, crushed crackers, sugar, cinnamon, and water. It sounds like a joke, but it wasn't. Apples were too expensive. So people recreated the texture, the illusion, using whatever they had. The crackers softened, mimicking cooked fruit. The cinnamon tricked the mind. And for a moment, it felt normal again. That was enough. Number 24. Dandelion salad. Not from a grocery store. From the ground. People would walk outside, pick wild dandelion greens, wash them, and eat them raw or lightly cooked. Bitter, tough, unforgiving, but full of vitamins. When there was no money, nature became the supermarket. This was not cooking. This was strategy. Number 23. Creamed chipped beef on toast. Also known as *tea on a shingle. Cheap dried beef, mixed into a thick white gravy, poured over toast. It was salty, heavy, filling, and incredibly cheap. For many families, this wasn't just dinner. It was every dinner, day after day. But it kept them going. Number 22. Hoover stew. Named after President Herbert Hoover. Blamed by many for the crisis. This stew was whatever you could find. Macaroni, canned tomatoes, maybe hot dogs if you were lucky. Thrown together in one pot. No rules. No recipe. Just survival in liquid form. Number 21. Peanut butter stuffed onions. Yes, onions. People hollowed them out, filled them with peanut butter, and baked them. Sweet meat sharp. It sounds wrong. But when your options disappear, you stop caring about normal. You care about calories. Number 20. Milcorno. A strange mix of powdered milk and cornmeal. Distributed by the government. Cheap. Bland. Nutrient-focused. It wasn't meant to taste good. It was meant to prevent starvation. This was not food. This was a lifeline. Number 19. Ketchup soup. Hot water, ketchup. Maybe a bit of seasoning if available. That's it. A bowl of survival. It sounds unbelievable. But when cupboards were empty, people got creative in ways we can't imagine today. Number 18. Cornbread and milk. Simple, cheap, filling. Dry cornbread, crumbled into a bowl, covered in milk. For many, this was breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Not exciting, not balanced, but it worked. And sometimes, that's all that mattered. Number 17. Lard sandwiches. Bread and pure fat. Lard spread thick between slices. No meat, no vegetables, just calories. Children ate this because fat meant energy, and energy meant survival. Let that sink in. This is where things start to change. Because what comes next gets even more desperate. Food stops being food and starts becoming something else entirely. Number 16. Boiled cabbage water. Not even the cabbage, just the water it was boiled in. Families would cook cabbage once, then save the leftover water and drink it like soup for the next meal. Faint taste, almost nothing there, but it carried a trace of nutrients. A ghost of food. And sometimes, that was all they had left. This was not food. This was survival. Number 15. Saltine crackers and water. No toppings. No sides. Just dry crackers and water to help swallow. It filled the stomach. It quieted the hunger. Barely. But for many, this was a full meal. And it repeated, again and again. Number 14. Potato peelings fried in grease. Nothing wasted. Not even the skins. People would collect potato peels, fry them in leftover grease, and eat them like chips. Crispy, salty, slightly satisfying. What used to be trash became dinner. This was not cooking. This was strategy. Number 13. Vinegar pie. No fruit. No filling in the way you expect. Just vinegar, sugar, and water baked into a crust. The acidity mimicked citrus. The sugar created the illusion of flavor. It tricked the senses. For a moment, it felt like dessert, even when there was nothing to celebrate. Number 12. Bread and drippings. After cooking meat, if you were lucky enough to have any, people saved every drop of fat, then soaked bread in it. Greasy, heavy, filling. It stretched one meal into two, into three. Nothing wasted, because wasting meant going hungry. Number 11. Coffee soup. Hot black coffee, poured over stale bread. Yes, coffee, as soup. The bitterness soaked into the bread, softened it, made it edible again. It gave a small boost of energy, a small illusion of warmth. And sometimes, that was enough to face another day. Here's what no one tells you. Hunger doesn't just weaken your body. It changes how you think. It lowers your standards, rewrites your definition of food, and forces you to accept things you never thought you would. And the next few prove that completely. Number 10. Prune pudding. Cheap dried prunes, boiled down into a thick, sticky dish. High in fiber, filling, long-lasting. It wasn't about taste. It was about making something that stayed in your system as long as possible, to delay the next wave of hunger. Number 9. Garbage soup. Yes, exactly what it sounds like. People collected discarded vegetable scraps, wilted leftovers, anything edible thrown away, washed it, boiled it, turned it into soup. It sounds extreme, because it was. But when survival is on the line, nothing is too low. Nothing. Number 8. Molasses and bread. A rare moment of sweetness. Cheap molasses, poured over plain bread. Sticky, dark, strong. For children, this felt like a treat, even if it was just sugar and survival. And in times like that, even a little sweetness mattered. Number 7. Bean sandwiches. No meat, just beans, mashed or whole, placed between bread slices. Protein, cheap, accessible. It wasn't exciting, but it worked. And when something works, you hold on to it. This is where things get even more real, because now we're entering the final stretch. The foods people turned to, when there was almost nothing left, when survival was hanging by a thread. And what comes next? You probably wouldn't eat, even if you were starving. Number 6. Squirrel meat stew. When stores were empty, people turned to the wild. Squirrels were everywhere, easy to hunt, easy to cook. They were boiled into stews, stretched with whatever vegetables were available. Tough meat, strong flavor, but it was protein, and protein meant strength. This was not preference, this was survival. Number 5. Stale bread pancakes. Bread that was too hard to eat, wasn't thrown away. It was soaked in water, mashed, mixed with a little flour if available, then fried into pancakes. A second life for something already finished, because nothing ended, until it absolutely had to. Number 4. Water pie. Yes, water, flour, sugar, butter, and mostly water, baked into something that looked like pie. But inside, it was almost empty. It filled the stomach. It created the feeling of eating something real, even when it wasn't. That illusion was powerful. Number 3. Possum meat. When desperation peaked, nothing was off limits. Possums were hunted, cleaned, and cooked slowly. Greasy, gamey, tough, but edible. And in that moment, edible was everything. This was not a choice. This was necessity. Number 2. Flour and water dumplings. No filling, no flavor, just flour mixed with water, boiled into soft lumps. Heavy, bland, but extremely filling. It sat in the stomach and held the hunger down for a little while. And sometimes, that little while was all that mattered. And now, number 1. The most shocking survival food of them all. Grass soup. Yes, grass. Boiled in water, sometimes with a pinch of salt if available. People literally ate what grew under their feet, because there was nothing left. No money, no food, no options, just survival. This was not food. This was desperation at its rawest form. Now think about that for a second. Everything you just saw was real. Real families, real children, real hunger. This wasn't history from a distance. This was survival, just one generation ago. And it changes something, because the next time you look at food, you won't just see taste. You'll see privilege. You'll see how far things have come. And maybe, you'll never waste it again. So here's the question. Which one shocked you the most? And be honest. Could you survive on any of these? Comment below. And if this opened your eyes, watch the next video. Because history has more stories like this that people forgot.